Hey visibility hackers, today we're talking about live shows on Facebook. Hey, I'm Coach Molly from the Visibility Hacking Studios, and I am so excited to talk to you about one of my absolute favorite things in the world, and that is creating shows on Facebook. And I want to prove to you that no matter what industry you're in, no matter what niche you're in, if your customers are hanging out on Facebook, then that means you need to have your own live show. But why is that so important? Well, I'll tell you frankly, building your own stage, having your live show is the fastest way to build influence. So come on, we gotta build your influence, we gotta build that authority, and that is what's going to cause people to change their behavior, to convert from one state to another, from not purchasing your products or services to being die-hard fans. So if you wanna get in with this, roll with me. We are going to talk about how to make your viewers say wow. Then we'll talk about getting the party started. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you the visibility hacking secret to boosting your engagement. Roll that intro. First and foremost, if you are thinking of building out your live show, there are 3 things you have to think about before you actually go live. First things first, you have to sit down and plan it out. You have to have an idea of what your graphics are going to look like, so understand what your brand is. You have to understand what kinds of guests are you going to bring on and start the process of bringing them on. You gotta think about what is your process going to be in order to produce all of your content and to get it out into the world. Now, I promise you that sounds kind of overwhelming, but the reality is, once you have a plan, then you can go find the resources you need in order to make that plan a reality. It's kind of really amazing. Some of the coolest shows that we have designed in Visibility Hacking Studios are run by a 1 or 2 person team, and the amount of content and engagement they're able to generate helps them also generate 6 figures a month in their businesses sometimes. And that is what I hope for you guys. So let's talk about the second thing that you have to do. You have your plan of attack, then you actually have to start designing things, because a live show is way more than just showing up on camera. We've talked about Twitch on here a lot, and I promise you we're not trying to make you streamers and gamers in that way, but the difference between what makes Twitch super popular and why people aren't already watching your lives is simply because of visual authority. So have your brand somewhere in your design. Have your aesthetic somewhere in your design. Your brand's personality comes out in that process. It comes out in the graphics on your show. It comes out on all of your pre-launch content, on all of your engagement content after your episodes. That is what you actually have to sit down and design out. If you skip that step and you just piece it all together, it's going to look like a serial killer's ransom note with just a bunch of random letters. And yes, that's a cool aesthetic for some, but I'm willing to put money on it that that's not actually the aesthetic of your brand. That's not the personality that you want to portray with your brand. So take the time ahead of time, design everything out, really solidify that visual authority before you move on to step number 3, and that is making your audience say, oh, wow. So first we have to think about what are the things we need in our show when we're designing out the actual experience. So we're gonna do this super quick. Of course, you are welcome to join us in Live Academy. We go really deep into all of this for an entire month. We help you out, but that link's below. But today we'll just cover the wow process. So first things first, for the algorithm and for the sake of letting your audience know that you're about to go live so that they don't miss any of the great value, you want to start with a waiting room. So a countdown clock, some kind of an intro, so that you're not there going, is this thing on yet? oh, I don't know if I'm live. We've all seen those. That is an instant way to draw away your authority. So have that timer going first, have your intro, have that option, or have that experience part of your show. And then the second part of the process is the O of wow, and that is what you do on air. So thinking about the different scenes you're going to have. What does it look like when you have a guest versus when you're solo? What's it look like when you're teaching and your screen shares? Building out and really thinking about the aesthetics of that experience and the technicalities of that are so important before we move on to the last of the W's, and that's what do we do after the show? There is so much that you do in order to leverage your guests, your audience, the engagement you've had. There is so much that we can go through, but we actually don't have time today, so you can definitely make sure that you hit the subscribe button, join us here on the channel, and I will definitely create another video where we go much deeper into that one part of the process. So yeah, hit the subscribe button and become a visibility hacker. All right, now we've designed it all out. We're ready to launch. We're ready to get that first episode out into the world. So the thing that you have to do in order to get that party started is to not just go live. I know, I tell you to go live all the time, but what I want you to do is think this out. I want you to play with the algorithm. So the simple action step you're going to take is to create an event. This way, a day or a couple days before your actual scheduled live episode, you're going to get people excited. This is going to be part of your weekly routine. You're always going to have the event started ahead of time. That way you can start the conversation going. You can start to engage with interested parties before your episode goes live. You can tease out content. You can gather feedback from people, all of that. And if you're going on Facebook, which clearly this video is all about, it also enables your potential viewers to click a button and get a reminder. That way the algorithm is going to serve them a little notification when you're about to go live. And it actually also gives you a notification a little bit before you go live as well, so that you can get ready and get onto that episode and watch it from the beginning. So let the algorithm do the work for you, and all it takes is to have that forethought of creating the event ahead of time. Now I know that's a super simple trick, and there's a ton more to grab more engagement, and I'm curious if you have ever heard of any other little tactics that work. Let me know down in the comments. So we've talked about letting the algorithm do some work for us, but I promise you there is always work for us flesh bag humans to do as well. So what you need to do, there's 3 different things that you have to do in order to build up the hype for your live show. And the first one is to create posts that promote your episode. So we talked about creating an event, which is a post unto itself, which is great, but also adding in different types of posts. So you can have a story maybe that will talk about your episode coming up. Have a text-based post that will tell a bit of a story that helps people see what you're going to talk about that episode. Maybe you have a funny GIF or a funny little video clip. Having a visual will also be a great way to create different kinds of content. If you have pre-recorded bits that you're putting into your episode, you can also slice bits of those out and create micro content pieces. But what I'm basically telling you to do is to get loud, to create content, to create hype, so people know that your show is actually happening. And when you do this on a regular basis, every single week, you're going to help people build that habit. Your consistency and your persistence in creating those regular pieces of content, those regular shoutouts that I have something cool going on, are really going to pay off in the end. Now, with all of those posts, you also want to tag people who showed up to your last episodes or who are engaging with the kinds of questions that you were posting and engaging with. We want to help the algorithm know that these people are probably going to be interested in seeing this post. And going off of that, we also want to be generally engaging with our communities, creating posts that are going to help create a conversation. So So start and think about each of your live show episodes. Figure out what a really good engaging question would be for each episode. And that way you can create posts on those either before or after the episode. Again, getting a deeper connection with your community through the same piece of content. Pretty powerful stuff, I know, but it's really easy for you guys to implement this into your into creating your live show and building that big brand visibility on a small brand budget. So if anything in today's video piqued your interest and you're interested in learning more about building a live show for your brand or your business, well, definitely hit us up. Head over to visibilityhacking.com. Click the link at the top that says Become a Visibility Hacker. It'll pop you over into our Visibility Hackers Facebook group. In there, of course, you can watch us go live, but you can also ask any of our coaches questions about building your show. You can sign up for our Live Academy programs when spaces are open. All of those are available to you, and we'd love to see you in the community. It's a great group of people, and they're all building really fantastic businesses that are really changing the world around them, and I want you to be part of that. So come on over, join us, visibilityhacking.com. I will see you over there. Until then, remember, I love you, be excellent to each other, and just go live. Your people are waiting for you.